I'm Jolene Bryant. I'm a Klamath Modoc Indian, and I'm just here to support to see if we can get Klamath to take down the dams or to come to some resolution for everybody to be happy with the irrigation, the farmers, with the tribal members, the fishermen. We're just trying to make our voice heard.
It's all native land. It's all native land.
Come on, we'll run a copy.
We just want to shot.
Let's go.
Actually, I don't shave my nail legs. I'm also native too, so I don't grow leg
Don't
hair.
pay attention to him.
Sir, you're not allowed to record
Let's
me
go.
or...
Watch out.
We're going to have just a few speakers, and we're going to keep queuing it up as long as we got some energy. My name's Craig Tucker. I'm the Klamath coordinator for the Klamath tribe. Very proud to participate in this struggle and work for the tribes. I want to invite Jeff Mitchell. He's a council member from the Klamath Tribes of Oregon up to speak.
Thank you, Craig. Okay, everybody. What do the Klamath people want? We want salmon. What do the Huron people want? What do the Karuk people want? What do the commercial fishermen want? What does the Klamath Basin want? What do we not want? What do we not want? What do we not want? Let's tell Pacific Core loud and clear what we do not want. No more dams! More dams! No more dams! No more dams! No more dams!
No more dams! No more dams! No more dams! No more dams! No more dams!
Let's tell the people of Portland, Oregon what we want. We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish!
We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish! We want fish!
Okay, everybody, I want to thank you all for showing up here to support the Klamath Basin, the native people, the commercial fishermen, the sports fishermen, and most of all, here to be to support the fish, the salmon. And that's what this is about. We're here to support the indigenous people, the cultures along the Klamath River that have been there for 10,000 plus years. We want to be there for another 10,000 years. And the only way we can be there is by ensuring that we have salmon. We need fish to protect our culture. We need fish to protect our way of life. We've signed our treaties, we've made agreements, we've made sacrifices all through the years to the United States governments, to the states of Oregon, to the states of California. We even made agreements in the past to companies like Pacific Corp, who once told us that there would be fish passage on the Klamath River, and what happened? No passage, nothing but dead fish along the rivers. That's what we ended up with. And we're not going to settle for that anymore, are we? No! So what we're asking Pacific Corp to do here is to do the right thing. They have the ability to be a corporation that's socially responsible, responsible to the environment, responsible to the people, and responsible to the fish. And that's all we're asking Pacific Corp to do, is step up and be the kind of company that they claim to be. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want? So on behalf of all of the Klamath people, all the Klamath River Basin people, even the farmers that are looking for a way of life, they know that in order for them to have a way of life, there's got to be fish in the basin. They've come up and supported fish in the basin. The one we need to step up now is Pacific Corp. That's all it takes. Pacific Corp, do the right thing, come to the table, negotiate the agreement, and just take down your dams, right? Let's take down those dams. We'll even help, won't we?
Yeah!
We'd love to help take those dams down.
Any day!
So, for the people here, we know the people in the city of Portland know how important fish is. The Columbia, it's provided fish for all the cultures, all the tribes up and down this river. This whole Northwest. When you think of the Pacific Northwest, the first thing that comes to mind is the fish, the salmon. So we're asking the people in Portland, we're asking the people in Washington, we're asking the people in California, we're asking all of them to stand with us, to fight the fight, to let Pacific Corp know what needs to be done here. It's not too late. It's not too late. We still have fish. We can build the fish back. We can bring them home. And that's what we want to do. Let's bring the salmon home. 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 I got a personal message to Warren Buffett. Warren, if you bring the salmon home, we'll bring one to you. We'll sit down and we'll eat a nice salmon dinner with you, Warren. So, Warren, you know what you need to do. People here, let's work together. Let's keep this going. The only thing that's going to keep this from stalling is for each and every one of you to stand with us and stand together and stand united. So thank you for being here. And once again, let's bring the salmon home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff Mitchell.
That's the toxic algae right there. And that's what's killing. That's what these cats are making right here. These cats right here. That's what they make.
That's what they're making.
Yeah, we come to give their stuff back.
That's what's in the water.
Pacific Corp can have their stuff back. They can have their stuff back. We want the water back. They can have this.
Family's table. I want to invite Dave Pitts. He's the president of the board of Pacific Coast Federation of Fishermen's Associations, who are our allies in this struggle.
Well, just pretty hard to follow. I'll try. Okay, so I drove. We all came a long ways today. I came too. I'm an ocean fisherman. Most of the fish we catch in the ocean come from the Sacramento River, not the Klamath. However, we only get to go chase them if there's a lot of Klamath fish in the ocean too. If there aren't, we get to sit at the dock. We don't get to go fishing. We don't get to make a living, and we don't get to provide some of the best eating seafood anywhere in the world to the people of California and the United States. So that's why we need abundant water of sufficient quality coming out of the Klamath River so those fish can be healthy, so they can live to make it to the ocean like they haven't been doing recently. I'm hearing that this year again, about 90% of the baby fish in the Klamath River are infected with the bug that's been killing them for the last 6 years.
Damn it now! Damn it!
And the dams aren't the whole reason for that bug, but they sure as hell are part of the reason for that bug. There's at least 3 reasons why those dams need to come out, and you all know them. So really, I'm talking to anybody that might be listening in here who doesn't know all these things, because everybody wearing one of these shirts and carrying a sign knows what I'm about to say, which is there's 3 reasons for it. One is because we'll never have water quality sufficient for salmon with those dams in place. It's true that the company, that's the water the fish have to put up with right now that Chuck's holding up there. Hold it up again, Chuck. That's what salmon have to live in the Klamath River right now. Anybody can look at that and see that water's not fit for salmon, for heaven's sakes. And it's true, the company doesn't add toxic stuff directly to the water. All they do is stop it and add heat and light to water that's already laden with nutrients. Well, what happens? You get photosynthesis. You get green stuff growing in the water. And the result is, it is toxic, it is polluted, it is not fit for salmon to live in. That's going to be the case as long as those dams are in place. There's another thing that's going on with the dams that they do that you don't hear so much about, but a normal, natural, healthy river every winter with the big flows from the rains and the snow melting off, that river scours its bed clean. And it can do that because it has lots of gravel and sand and silt that it's moving down the river to scour that river clean. Well, guess what? When water slows down and stops, all that stuff falls out of the water to the bottom of the reservoir that's behind those dams. And when that water comes out of Iron Gate Dam, it doesn't have the gravel and the sand and the silt in it that the river needs to scour its bottom clean. And so the algae can grow on the bottom of the river that the worm lives in, that the parasite lives in when it's not out swimming around in the river killing salmon. So if we had those dams out of there and had that gravel moving down the river like it's supposed to, like it does in nature, then there's a very good chance that we would not be seeing 90% of the baby fish infected and dying from the parasite that's been killing them for the last 6 years. So that's another reason why the dams have to come out.
Why has it only been 6 years?
Oh, it may have been longer than 6 years. We first really noticed what was going on with this parasite in the spring of 2002. Before the big adult fish kill in the fall, we noticed that the baby fish were not living to get to the ocean because they were being killed by this parasite. They've also been killed by lack of dissolved oxygen at night and other factors in the river that are directly related to the high nutrient load that comes out of those dams with all the algae in it that is there because that water's been baking in the hot desert sun before it's allowed to run on down the river. Now the third reason why the dams have to come out has to do, water quality is only part of the picture. There also has to be enough of it for fish to thrive. Now taking the dams out is not directly going to provide increased flows. However, the agreement that everybody but Pacificor has reached on resolving the water wars in the Klamath, and that's everybody. That's tribal, that's the tribes, that's the fishermen, that's NGOs, that's the government. Everybody but Pacificor has agreed on a deal that would provide more water for fish. It would provide more certainty of the water that farmers get so that they can go to the bank in the spring and get the loans they need so they can plant their crops. All of that doesn't happen unless the dams come out. It all goes away. 2 years of effort by probably hundreds of people, all down the drain, if Pacificor refuses to agree to take the dams out. So that's the third reason why we want to see Pacificor agree to do this. They have a chance. This company up there somewhere, they have a chance to be heroes here. They have a chance to get ahead of the curve instead of being behind it.
Yes.
And I think we need to urge them here today to take that chance, to seize this opportunity, to move out in front, to take these dams that are only green because of what Duke was holding up there. That's the only way these dams are green power, right there, is they produce green water in a river that should be clear. But they have an opportunity to replace those dams with another non-polluting source of electricity. If they were to take this opportunity and the money that should be available from all the momentum that we're helping to produce here today to invest in, for example, solar power. If they took about 10 acres and put a thermal solar plant on that, they could produce all the power those dams produce with no carbon footprint, no pollution of the river. They would be way ahead of the curve. They'd be national leaders in this field, and they could say, hey everybody, look what we did. And 20 years from now, 50 years from now, people would look back and say, look what Pacificor did to get ahead of the energy production curve and save salmon at the same time. That company is a hero. So Pacificor, hear us. Take your chance. Be the heroes we know you can be.
All right.
Stop the dams from falling! No more stalling! Can stop the dams from falling! No more stalling! Can stop the dams from falling! No more stalling! Can stop the dams from falling! No more stalling! Can stop the dams from falling!
All right, we're gonna have one more speaker. Opportunity for everybody to get it off their chest up here. Who's got something to say? You want to invite Annalea Norris up? Together there's some of this algae, some of the water out of Pacificor's reservoirs. Come on up, Annalea.
Welcome. All right, we've heard a lot about the scientific facts about the water quality and why the dam should come out, but let's talk a little bit about the spiritual facts. This water, it's our life source, you know? This is what keeps us going. And right now, this is what our water is looking like. This is what we're living off of. This is what we're consuming and what we're becoming. This is why the dams need to come down. This is what Pacificor is creating for us. They're not preserving our water, they're destroying it. And all that water back there that they're holding up, it's not creating enough electricity to justify having the dams up. And justice is really what we need on the Klamath River for our people, you know. Because with our water sick like this, our fish are dying. And fish are the essential part of our cultures and our people. And when our people die, because we don't have the food that we need, then it's going to be a domino effect, you know. You guys think that it just affects us people on the river. It's going to affect the whole world. We're all going to die from this. You know, it's not just these dams. All the dams are creating sickness like this. And we need to set the precedent and bring these dams down. Bring all the dams down. You know, this is destruction of our Mother Earth. And it's time that we do our earth justice, you know. This is where we come from, is the earth. And if we want to survive, we need to take care of it and restore the beauty and the creation from which we come. So I want to hear everyone call for justice right now. We want justice. What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
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 Bring the salmon home!
Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home!
Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home!
Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Bring the salmon home! Now! 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 Bring the salmon home!
What this company is doing to the Klamath River, what this company is doing to the tribes in the Klamath Basin, what this company is doing to the commercial fishing communities up and down the coast, it is a crime. It is a crime against the families who depend on the salmon fishery. It's a crime against tribal people who have rights, and we should leave it right here, right now. This place is a place of crime, and we should make a crime scene right here.
Right here on their own property. It's not just a crime scene on the Klamath River. Remember the official in 2002? It's like it looks like it right here. River people stand tall. Dams are gonna fall. 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 River people stand tall. The dams are gonna fall. River people stand tall. The dams are gonna fall. What? River people stand tall. The dams are gonna fall. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling.
No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling. No amount of stalling can stop the dams from falling.
Alright, so I have a question for you guys. I got a question. What's polluting the water? What's killing the salmon? What's threatening cultures? What's stopping jobs? What's making bad water? We want to undam the Klamath and bring the salmon home.
Undam the Klamath, bring the salmon home.
What?
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 Undam the Klamath, bring the salmon home.
Louder!
Undam the Klamath, bring the salmon home. 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 Undam the Klamath, and bring the salmon home.
You know what? This is modern day genocide. This is modern day genocide. Pacific Core, you can't hide. No more salmon genocide.
Pacific Core, you can't hide. No more salmon genocide.
Pacific Core, you can't hide. No more salmon genocide. Pacific Core, you can't hide. No more salmon genocide. Pacific Core, you can't hide. No more salmon genocide. Undam the Klamath and bring the salmon home. Undam the Klamath, bring the salmon home. Undam the Klamath,
Bring the salmon home.
gonna undam the Klamath,
Bring the salmon home.
gonna undam the Klamath,
And bring the salmon home.
now.
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home. Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home. Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon home.
Now!
Undam the Klamath. And bring the salmon